Greetings, Cancer. Welcome to your Mars and Virgo reading. Mars is in your third house, helping you say what needs to be said, get around. You can manage your day-to-day schedule really, really good. You can talk to who you need to talk to. You can get the answers that you need to. And you've created this really sweet connection between you and the people around you where they want to tell you things. They want to be agreeable and they want things to work in your favor. And it's not just happening. You've created a funnel of those experiences back to you. And it feels great. You feel strong. And, the third house is a fortunate experience similar to the ninth house, but in a way that's a lot more connected. So you feel the strength in your conversations with people and the ability to really use your words to move things along. So that means in your work, things are really favorable because it's not just about saying all of these things, it's about saying what really needs to be said in a way that's actually disruptive, not in a negative way, but disruptive in its impact, disruptive in the way that it makes people feel closer to you, or it gives them a chance to understand you more deeply without you having to say, I need you to understand me, that this is what I'm trying to say. No, it's not all of that. So it's really, really great. It's an energy that makes you feel like super connected to the world and the people within your world, because you don't want anything. You just want things to work, and you want to be in the conversations, and in order to be in the conversations, you've got to give off a certain vibe, and you're giving it off, and it makes people want to connect to you, especially in a work setting. It's all about the vibe and this part of you that is you care, of course, but it really is about saying the right thing at the right time, and you have that ability on tap, and it's great. It's great for your work, makes things feel really solid and abundant, and like you were working towards being this confident or this knowledgeable, and now you are, and you just kind of get to soak in all the different experiences without feeling inadequate. Mm-hmm. And if you have things coming up and opportunities coming up, that's the vibe. That's the vibe. Knowing what to say, doing your mental homework, being prepared for every conversation to where it goes your way. Mm-hmm. Love also gifts you with what we call the gift of gab. You can use your words to create this swirl of energy between you and your partner. Wow, I love, look at that. Your words, the Page of Swords, to create this swirl, this emotional swirl of love between you and your partner. All of this feeling that you've had, you can now say it in a way that doesn't feel so heavy, but it feels perfectly deep and connects to the surface in all the right moments. It's actually having the words for how you feel, to where it doesn't make you look like weird or like you're doing too much. And if you are working to attract new love, there are some conversations about what is happening in the world and what the world is attracted to right now, what people in the world are attracted to right now. And I think it's good to have those conversations, even if, it does mean that you've got to rework some of the ways that you either think about love, the way that you approach love, or even your look or whatever it is. You you want to come back out into the world ready to court or be courted. And Mars in Virgo is information about that world that you're either already in or getting ready to step into within your romantic life that you really, really need. And it may be that you're still carrying a past energy, past relationships are influencing where you are. And it's like, again, the world has changed. You need to step back into this youthful version of you that's at the very beginning of a new relationship, ready to connect, ready to flirt, ready to, you know, I don't want to tell you the term that I use for dating because it's too much. But ready to find love is what we'll say. Okay, here we are, the Seven of Pentacles and the Six of Swords. Past dealings that you need to heal from. You need to move away from them, especially mentally. Let these things be what they are, what they've been, but you are on your way to something new and fruitful, and your energy needs to represent that. Your look needs to represent that. And that may mean not talking about those past experiences in dating circumstances, not because you can't tell anybody about your past, but because you don't need to. Okay, so you see how this Gemini energy tricks you, right? Because you could say so much that you incriminate yourself and you slow down the things that you really want because you said you have this flow of information right now that can make you really, really smart and strategic. But then there are these moments where you just either don't know, okay? And that's one of the challenges. Oh my God, this is so good. The third house, you feel there's a part of you that feels like you know everything. And not even necessarily in an egoic way. It can borderline ego, we know Kanye, we know, right? It can borderline ego, but it doesn't necessarily have to be egoic. Gemini energy, third house energy can be very um, knowledgeable, but also quite humble still. Okay. But as you're going through third house transits, the challenges that can come is that you feel like you know everything. And then there's circumstances or situations where like you know nothing at all, right? But like because you're so used to knowing everything or feeling like you know everything or making people feel like you know everything, when you're in situations where you actually don't know anything, nothing moves because you don't know how to say, I actually just don't know that. What should we do here? I actually just don't know that. Let me go watch a video. Let me go talk to somebody who has this thing that I have. And so, what this feels like in love is that you can either be grounded in this third house energy, knowing that the things that you know really well, bread and butter, lean into it, enjoy it. And then the things that you don't know at all, literally be a student to those topics and those situations. And so if you can do that, if you can not feel criticized or feel like life is trying to humble you because you actually need to go back to the drawing board in these topics, especially surrounding love and some, it could literally be just like your body and your health and the fact that like, sure, like this person can love you, but that doesn't mean that they don't want to look at you in your best form. They likely do. Don't get comfortable. And if you haven't pulled yourself together into your best form and you're going out into the dating world, this Knight of Pentacles is like, I know you want this love, but this love comes with you being in your best form. And I think that it's not just about looking great and having a perfect body, but your body being a representation of your overall health as a person, your mental health, your emotional health, your physical health, all of that. It's all tied, your spiritual health, all of it actually showing through how you show up in the body. And so, sure, it could sound like, oh, people are superficial because they want you to have this perfect body or whatever, whatever. But no, they just want to see that you're good at taking care of yourself. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that through that, you'll also be good at taking care of them and loving them and making sure that they continue to take care of themselves, because there is a capacity. And so if they connect with you and your body is not where you want it to be, first and foremost, then now you already need something from them. You need them to make sure that you get your body to where you need it to be. And I know there's so many nuanced pieces of this. The body is just one aspect of this Knight of Pentacles energy. This could be your mental health, it could be your emotional health, it could be your house, it could be an issue that you need to resolve first before you get into this relationship, a financial issue or whatever. It could be multiple things that this energy is saying you need to fully acknowledge and address what's needed in this situation. This third house is a really honest conversation about what you're doing impulsively, Mars in the third house, that's not actually getting you to where you want. Mm-hmm. So that you can get what you want, you can receive it. You're physically ready, you're mentally ready, you're spiritually ready, all of that stuff. So yeah, that's it. It's not getting caught in this knowing so much that the things where you really need to fill up on, you don't, because it's like, well, I'm so good at this thing. And it's like, yeah, you could be incredible, breathtaking. But what about that issue right there? And then you become, as you address those things, this person that catches love catches you. It stops right in front of you because it's like, whoa, hey, who are you, how are you, wow, you know then here come the conversations. Yes, you're in control without having to be in control, because your energy is so prepped for love to find you, love to meet you face to face. You're confident emotionally, mentally, all of that. It's a journey. It's a journey, but that's a challenging, um that's the information that this Mars and Virgo transit will it'll take you on this journey of facing those things. And I think, again, if you're not sensitive about the physical things that really need to change, the mental things that really need to change, it's fine. But it is emotional, and it is really honest and helpful. It's going to get you what you want, but these aren't easy truths that you need to, and conversations that you need to have with yourself or even with people. And it'll serve you if you do it with people who try to give you the truth gently. That definitely helps. It's really hard for those who are just like in this Virgo energy and things just need to move. But there are some people who do really want to be gentle with you, about what needs to happen. Okay. Money, we already kind of talked about it. It's all through this connection. You've got Jupiter, you've got um, Mars in the third. You're not focused on the thing. The people who are focused on the thing are losing. It's focusing on the connection that's making you win in your work. It's attracting more money. It's attracting opportunities that will eventually attract more money to you. It's all, the bonds that you've built are starting to shine now. And it means a lot, because not only do you get this free space now to work your magic, where you may have felt completely blocked off and nobody cared and nobody wanted to hear it and nobody, now not only can you work that magic so freely and so comfortably, but these people, instead of them, you know pulling you down to the ground level, they actually want to give you more magic. They want to say, okay, here, go here, okay, here, know this, okay. It's great. It's amazing. It's amazing. And for some of you, um if you don't feel this abundance in your work life, you need to do that. You need to lean into the connections within your work, but you also need to go back to something that brought you a lot of fulfillment that you've dropped, you've forgotten about, because you think that nothing's ever going to happen with it. But you have Jupiter, it's happening. It's happening now. It's happening now. The way that you talk, people just need to feel your energy. You don't have to do much, even. Really be just really being yourself, and things are balancing out. Okay, we finished your reading really, really early. Um, and it's because I was trying to avoid talking about Uranus and Gemini because I just I just wanted this to be like a happy, happy, happy reading. But what I'm seeing right now with this Nine of Swords and the Seven of Cups, and as much time as we have left in, to record your reading, I'm like, okay, we need to talk about Uranus and Gemini because it's coming on July 7th. And with all of this abundance coming your way, I just want you to be aware of the fact that chaos is coming back around with Uranus entering Gemini, but also Venus entering Gemini this week. So the chaos is already creeping in. If you haven't felt it already, it's creeping in. You've got to make some space for things that you don't want to make space for. You've got to deal with some things. You've got to go back to the drawing board on some things that you thought that you can just walk past and ignore and not address. But this is your 12th house coming back, and Uranus moving into your 12th house. Um, it feels it feels like your ego can take over in a way that's very unhelpful. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So what you'll need to do is you'll need to consciously calm your ego. And that could mean taking a lot of space from all of the things in your life intentionally, knowing that when you do that, you allow for things to flow without your interference or without your ability to mess it up. And getting into this rhythm of stepping away is helpful because you are winning in such a big way. And so to take it too far to show that you're winning or to do too much with the win, it just can make you feel weird and isolated. Mm-hmm. This can also be you needing to do work that you've been avoiding, actual work, career related work, or um, work in your life, something that you've been needing to invest in or pour in, but your ego has been pushing you in the opposite direction of that thing. Uranus in your 12th house and Venus entering your 12th house, um, it almost says like what you think you're doing is not actually fulfilling you. Whatever you're doing right now, it's not actually fulfilling you. And it's because it's Gemini energy, as we talked about the third house, it wants you to go after what you really want. But it also is like really ground level. And if you don't feel like things are moving in the opportunities in your life, whether this is a relationship or whatever it is, it could be because you're trying to move past the ground level of things. Gemini energy is everyone needs to know. And you have this ability right now to keep really, really good secrets. And it's not that you're not allowed to have secrets, but Gemini disperses information not because it wants to talk so much or whatever, which is really funny when I talk about it because I have a Gemini friend who just talk so fast and just going, just sharing everything, just like, okay, I need to make sure they know this. Okay, I need to make sure they know this. And it's like, oh my gosh, you don't have to talk that fast. Like, it's fine. Like, you know, you don't have to tell me all of these thoughts. Like, it's fine. But um, it's because Gemini energy feels like it has this obligation to keep information flowing in life. And it's not about, oh, let me hoard this fact or whatever. No, people really just need to know what's going on. And I think what you could feel is like this challenge with balancing what needs to be shared and what needs to be kept a secret. And it starts, everything just starts to become blurred for you, and then connections can feel a little bit blurred as well. But come down to the ground level, and you don't feel so off. You don't feel like people have this weird vibe towards you. It's because they want to feel like, how can I say this? They want to be connected, and they don't want to, you have this ability to like make people feel like you're giving them charity. That is like, it's maybe it's like the mother in you, the motherly energy in you. And so you can make people feel that way. And when your 12th house is activated, that energy really comes alive, where it's like, you can be there for me, but like, you're not like, you know, you're not like mothering me into like a better situation. Like, we're just vibing. I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, Gemini energy is like not necessarily prideful in that way. It just we're all on the same level kind of thing. It doesn't matter if you're that, you know, old or young or whatever. We're all just trying to get through the day. And so that's part of the challenge of Uranus in the 12th and this Venus in the 12th is like, don't think that you've got something figured out that people don't have figured out. The more you talk to people on a very basic human level in all aspects of your life, the better things go. And again, that's especially for some of you who may like, you fall into that trap, and you have to check yourself because people be like acting weird, and it's because of that. They feel like you have to be charitable to them, like you have something that they don't have, and it can make them not trust you. It can make them feel like you have a big ego or whatever it is. um like you don't feel like you're one of us kind of thing. Now for some, it's really just you just needing a lot of space. You just don't want to be so connected. You just don't want to be so plugged in. You just, you kind of need to be with yourself to feel how you feel, and that's it. you know and it's fine for you to give that to yourself. But if there's something that is really affecting you that comes up under this July 7th transit, where you feel like, wow, I really need to connect with this person, or I really need to um, get this off my chest. Like, you may need an intentional therapist or a spiritual life coach, or a way to connect with your emotional health, especially in ways that don't come easy to you. It's easy to nurture, but the 12th house is not about the 12th house isn't about nurturing. The 12th house is about um, accepting the things that you cannot change, you know which is like, feels like this. It's like, why can't I just freaking change it? And it's like, not just nurturing yourself, but like fully accepting the situation as is, and moving through it, and giving yourself what you need as you move through it. So it's it's good. And I know, coming back to the point about you giving to people and making people feel like you're giving to them, right? um it's hard. The reason that it gets to be weird, because you're like, well, when my 12th house is activated, that's what I feel. I feel like people need my help. I feel like I'm dealing with people who are just like struggling, which is very accurate. That's the 12th house. You do feel that. You do feel like you attract a lot of, strays. Is the 12th house energy of people who just like need to be lifted up and need to be picked up and walk. But what does a stray animal do when you rub it the wrong way? It's going to bite you. And if it has rabies, it's going to really hurt you. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, it's not that you're going to be bitten by a stray animal, but like the way that people can snap back at you because of your energy, it feels confusing because you're like, oh, I'm just trying to help you. I'm just trying to be here for you. I'm just trying to, give you what is obvious that you need. And this 12th house and this Gemini energy is like, yeah, you can do that, but from a level where if you actually look at yourself as well, you also need something that I could probably help you with, even though I'm sharing the situation with you where I need something. There's probably something you also need help with. And really, it's not that I just am vulnerable about where I'm at and the struggles of it so that we can not trauma bond, but help each other. That's very much so the Gemini vibe of keeping each other's minds lifted and moving forward. And it's not just because people are like deeply sad or deeply, struggling. It's just life, day to day life that, you consistently can connect with people to get that encouraging word or give that encouraging word. And so again, the challenge, the 12th house challenge of where that ego death happens is because there's a blind spot there where you think that, oh wow, vulnerable people, let me mother them and make them, and then people are like, no. And so it's a little bit of work to pull back from that way of connecting with people who seemingly need your help with something. And if you do that, you can shift into this place where you do get to be super helpful in a way that's very long term and maybe isn't how you naturally would go about things, but you get into a flow of like, yeah, this is just, I get it. I get it. People are just trying to push forward, and, I can give a little word here or there to help them do so without it needing to be something that I have like now have power in. You know what I'm saying? Letting go of this desire to be in control gives you all the control that you need, which is really just control over yourself. Whatever control you feel is pulling on you externally, where you need to be the one to present all of this power and all of this authority, is really just something within you that you want to make sure that you feel. And when you feel it naturally, when you're giving yourself this validation for what you've done and how you've done it, instead of it coming across as pride, it comes across as love for the opportunities that you have, and still strong, still disciplined, and still strong boundaries, yeah. But less power hungry, less dark, more adult. Cool. All right, Cancer, I will see you in your next transit reading. In the meantime, you can schedule private and birth chart readings with me through the link in the description. See you later. Bye.